So hey guys, what's up? This is Ezekiel, and welcome back to the next episode of the Battle Cats Evolution series. Woo! So, in the last video, we talked about the Pie Cat, and so for today's video, we're going to be moving on to the next cat, which is going to be none other than the Juliet Cat. So just before we get this episode started, I just wanted to clear a couple things up. I realized that in the last video, I think I might have said something about, Ubers that have single attack and not area attack damage aren't really the most useful of cats or something along those lines. And then a lot of people are just like, well, actually, this particular Uber cat has single attack, but it actually does really good or something like that. So I realized that, yeah, there are a couple of exceptions for some Ubers that actually do have single attack damage and can actually do pretty well. But in my defense, I would still say that Ubers with air attack damage are generally better, unless you're looking for like a really specific stage where like this particular Uber with this particular single attack damage would be actually very, very useful. But in my case, because most levels I play anyways, I usually don't really need any Ubers that have single attack damage. I don't even have a single Uber that has single attack damage anyways, so I'm just a big believer for the area attack damage. Now anyways, the Juliet Cat right here, let's just see what the unit info has to say. Dreams of a Romeo she met online, favorite book, Pride, Prejudice, and Haircuts. Briefly freezes angels, area attack damage. So I'm pretty sure the Pride, Prejudice, and Haircuts is actually meant to be some sort of like interesting saying. I think I actually used something very similar the last time I took English class, but I don't really remember it now, unfortunately. But anyways, this is an anti-angel cat. It's able to do, or have a chance to do, some freezing effects on the angel enemies, almost alien enemies right there. Whoops. Has the air attack damage, which is awesome, so it's able to deal with multiple groups, though the freeze chance that she actually has isn't super reliable. However, it might get better though along the line right here. So the next form right here that we have after the Juliet Cat is the Princess Juliet Cat, because apparently the Juliet Cat wasn't already princess, so they actually made her princess now, which is spicing things up a little bit. But anyways, let's just see what she has to say. All grown up, but still dreaming of her cyber Romeo, which I'm assuming is probably like internet or something like that. Not literally like a robot. Likes chicken, kebabs. I think it's kebabs. I'm sure someone's gonna get angry anyways. Briefly freezes angels, air attack damage. So same exact technicalities right here in terms of its abilities and stuff. Only now Juliet has become all grown up apparently and is able to wear that little crown on her head. So everything's nice and cool. And how originally, if this cat didn't get a true form in a really long update a while ago, which I forgot to cover because I guess just didn't have the time to, but if the Juliet Cat did not have the true form, it would actually just stop right here, and it would just be like a very sort of meh cat. But it actually gained a true form, which made it into the Juliet the Maiko. Maiko, I think it's Maiko. It's like kind of like the Maiko shark, or the something shark. It's like this particular shark that starts with an M. Not too sure what it is, but hopefully someone knows what I'm talking about right here. But anyways, true form of Juliet right here. Let's see what she has to say. Romeo turned out to be a real jerk. Now aiming for a total image change and a cute samurai lord. Briefly freezes angels, air attack damage. So I believe that either the freeze chance actually increases or the freeze duration increases. So one or the other, or actually both of them, not too sure. But apparently the Juliet the Maiko, or the Maiko cat, is actually really, really good and more reliable in terms of freezing enemies and stuff. So we're actually going to put her to the test when we, put her into battle. But for now, let's just look at her actual forms real quick. So starting things off, we're just going to send out the Juliet Cat right now. And it actually looks nothing too crazy right here, except you got like a floating window cell thingy that's kind of just, seems to be like not even attached to anything. Like, how do you think the Juliet Cat actually, got here via this like transportation method of a window right here? Maybe it's possible that this window is actually a portal to like another dimension, because you notice that when she opens it, there's like this darkness like behind her that you're not too exactly sure what exactly is that. It might be the back of her room, it might be like the end of some dark abyss. No one really knows for sure, but we only know that Juliet's just rocking it when she's floating up in the air like that. Of course, she actually died from the super giant warning cross of death right there, so she's gonna go down unfortunately. But you know, aside from like all the weird technicalities and like theories about where she actually comes from, if this is indeed a portal right here, she's a pretty basic cat right here, just getting some, you know, Snow White vibes, some Tangled vibes from that movie Tangled, for those of you guys who've seen that, but, you know, just looks like a very basic and ordinary cat, so nothing too crazy right here. Although its next form right here does spice things up just a little bit, so now instead of having a super basic, you know, typical wooden window-like frame-like thing, it actually becomes a little bit more royal right here, sort of like what you typically see in like castles and like really expensive buildings, like the Trump Tower, for example. But you can see that's a little bit more detailed actually. You have like that fence-like whatever it's called, like the window shield thingy, you know, just bugs and other unwanted creatures from entering your room. As well as got that nice, like, I would say European design sort of on the top right there. Not really sure if it's European design, I'm just sort of spitting out random things right here, but it just looks a lot more fancier, like more royal and official in this particular form right here. So she's sort of like laying down the laws right here to her enemies, just being like, hey, I'm a freaking princess, I'm epic, and even though I still died a one hit to the giant cross right here, I am ready to just wreck some fools. So that's pretty much what her second form looks like. And her final form is actually a bit of a surprise to me. It sort of tones down in terms of like the whole royal princessy sort of things, but actually replaces it with more of this like colorful Japanese like style of I guess a window frame right here, which is pretty neato. And nice little bonus right here, right before she attacks, she'll actually peek out a little bit through her little window still and then smash open the window frames right there, the window doors, let's say. I guess it's a little bit nicer, you know, a bit of courtesy right there, so she's not just like smacking into people's face. She's gonna look first of who it is and then smack them in the face right there. So a couple of changes right here too. Obviously the window is colored. You got some birds on top right there that seem to explode right out of her little the room right there. You can actually see her room behind her too, so it sort of fixes the whole theory of like, is she like in a portal or like another dimension or in her room or something? But no, she's probably in her room right there. Unfortunately, her attack range sort of stays the same right there, so if you're wondering if she's able to attack farther or anything like that, she can't. However, she does look a lot more fancier, a little bit more like Japanese, like representing, you know, looks pretty cool. And yeah, that's pretty much all I can say for her true and final form. So now, on to the battle sequence. We're going to be rocking a freeze combo set right here, along with some knockback, just because I wasn't exactly sure what other cats to put into this particular combo, because other things wouldn't work. But essentially, we got the first three, what are these guys called? Obviously, the Macho Cat, the Manic Macho Cat, and I think this is just the Marshmallow Cat. Oh no, the Creep Mallow Cat. Jeez, I'm getting my words mixed up here once again. So the first three cats here are going to give us a mega boost for the freeze, and then the Cat O-Lantern plus the, I think it's one of the leg cats right there, forget which one, also gives a small freeze, and then obviously the two legs in the front gives some knockback, and then I just decided to throw in the Sniper the Heavy Cat just to kind of further that knockback effect, even though it might not be too helpful for the particular composition that we're going for, but it should be something, you know, it's not going to be too bad. And then obviously we're going to have our basic spam cats with the Ramen Cat and the Hermit Cat, just because, I don't know, I mean, after the whole, like, spiel of, like, the Tower of Power or whatever it was called, I think I'm thinking of, like, Dragon Ball Z right here, Dragon Ball Super, I should say, my bad, because the term of power, you know, the whole, you guys know what's happening if you're keeping up with that, but anyways, the whole tower thing, it's like, I don't really see a lot of people using the Hermit Cat, and I realize that it has a really short attack range, so it's not really the most useful cat, so I just figured just to kind of spice things up right here, we may as well throw him in right there. We could say that he is the royal attendant of the Juliet the Maiko cat right here, so it kind of, you know, in a story sense right there, kind of makes sense. But anyways, enough for the chitter chat, let's actually just get into the stage right here, which is going to be, if I can find it right here, the growing yellow stage. And I only do this just because we're going to start things off pretty simple, just use it in a, you know, an atypical stage. You're trying to farm for some yellow fruits, and let's just see how it, or let's see how she performs. Looks like the enemies are going to start off by sending the angelic hippos right here, nothing too crazy. I'm actually just going to start things off right here by sending a single ramen and the Juliet Cat together, and see how these go right here. So, in theory, the ramen cat should be able to hold off the hippos right here, and the Juliet Cat, in theory, should also be able to do some freezing right there. You can see that she's actually able to successfully land a freeze with her, and actually actually completely annihilate that Angelic Hippo right there. So even though she's, you know, known to be useful for her freeze effect, she can actually do a little bit of damage, which is a little bit surprising. So, you know, she's definitely not a weak support. She's definitely more of the powerhouse sort of support. So she can do damage and kill the enemies. Of course, if you have like the red cat right here, of course, which I'm using is the ramen cat. That was some really bad English right there. I apologize, but hopefully you understand what I mean right here. So the Angelic Gory right here shouldn't be an issue because it's actually been stopped right here, and maybe she'll be able to 1v1. And it actually kind of seems that way too because the Gory was frozen twice in a row, and now all the enemies are frozen. Man, look at that freeze time. That freeze time was like ridiculously long. So I imagine that if you're able to sort of stack these Juliets in a sequence right here, you can theoretically freeze an enemy like for, you know, till the end of time, really, as long as you're really lucky in getting those freeze chances right here. So we're gonna sort of kind of make things here a little bit more serious. We're actually just gonna start sending out the forces right here, spamming those Juliet Cats, and they're actually sort of spammable, so you can actually kind of summon like a really big stack of them in a relatively short amount of time right here. Gonna start sending out some Eraser Cats here too, just to, you know, sort of help, because once the big wave comes, then it might be a little bit difficult for all of our current cats to sort of hold off, though the Hermit Cat is proving to be pretty useful, just doing some basic damage, while the Juliet Cats that are now being put in an epic stack right here should be doing both a fair amount of damage, but also having a good chance to freeze the enemies. So now we're really close to the base, and there we go. The first enemies have been unleashed. That Angelic Doggo is gonna get into the fray right there, or I should say Angelic Doge, because some people say Doges, I like to say Doggos, but you know, more or less the same thing. Now, this might be a little bit of a problem right here, because you can see that the Juliet the Maikos are not going to be close enough to actually unleash any damage towards that the Angelic Sleipnir right there, the Angelic Horse, as some people like to call it as well. So it might be a little bit of a problem right here, but thankfully, I believe Juliet the Maiko gets a bit of a defensive boost, if I'm not mistaken, so she's actually able to kind of tank a few hits before she actually goes down right here. But unless we're able to deal with like this massive wave of stuff right here, it's going to be a little bit difficult to, you know, for Juliet the Maiko to really do their effect right here, which is going to be freezing the enemies. But so far, we're actually holding off pretty well right here. I know we're using like 3 spam cats, including the ramen cat right there, which kind of seems a little bit cheesy because, you know, enemies are going to have a really hard time getting through. But you can see that, obviously, enemies are getting knocked back with the knockback combo, and when they're frozen, it just makes it really difficult for them to come back to it. So we're actually not doing too bad right here, although unless we have any like range attack units, which we actually do have right here. Maybe I'll just summon a few of them just to kind of help things out right here. Then the Juliet Maiko Cat can't really do much. So I think that's the only drawback of the Juliet Maiko Cat. She's good against units that have a really short range, but when it comes to longer range Angelic units, she's going to struggle a little bit to actually get her attacks in. Unless you're lucky, have maybe some cat combos that increase like cat defense, or you even max her up to level 40. Then you're not going to really expect her to do a whole lot of damage to these more longer range Angelic units. But in the time being, we're actually doing pretty good right here. We're able to definitely take care of the, you know, the peons right here with little to no trouble. But I don't know, we're just going to just, I guess, casually, well, I say casually, but we're still kind of struggling right here, beat the Sleipnir right here. So we're just going to start to summon the forces. So the Sleipnir has been taken care of, and now we're going to be going straight for the base, just clearing things up right here. Maybe we're going to get a yellow cat fruit or a yellow cat seed, which is not ideal, but it's something. You know, you do these stages obviously to get fruits and seeds so that you can upgrade your cats to their true forms, of course. But yeah, it's going to be a pretty easy stage right here. Got the yellow cat fruit seed, which is it's okay, but not exactly what I was looking for. But yeah, that's going to be it for the first stage right here. Now for the second stage right here, we're actually going to be presenting Juliet in a little bit more of a fair scenario, let's say, right here. So she'll be dealing with a particular angelic enemy that is actually more close range, and maybe we'll be able to sort of show off her true potential in this sort of scenario right here. So if we're not fighting a Sleipnir, we're gonna be fighting something a little bit more, something more for level right now. Of course, we're gonna start things off by fighting this particular boar right here, and I actually sort of failed to realize that this stage actually has this boar right here, so we might need to be a little bit extra careful right here. But if the Juliet Cat is as powerful as she is, and with the assistance of a few of the range cats right here, of course the Maniac Macho Legs and the regular Macho Legs, then we should have a fairly easy time right here. So hopefully we can actually deal with the red boar, which I completely and honestly forgot was actually in the stage, and if all goes well, then we should be good to roll. So we're just going to hope for the best, hope that our units can actually do enough damage right here. I'm going to try to send out maybe, I'm thinking just regular Macho Legs right here, but we're having a little bit of trouble actually doing this. Though the Sniper Cat that we did bring along is actually proving to be sort of useful right here. It's making making it a little bit easier for our cats to sort of deal with these guys right here, though all the Juliet cats are dead, which is not ideal, but as long as we can, or if we can keep summoning these ranged supporter cats, then everything should be theoretically okay. Seeing a few knockbacks right there, can't really tell if that's from the damage or if it's actually from the sniper cat, but oh, I think it was actually from the damage though, because the knockback animation was slightly different right here, so we're just going to keep summoning the Macho Legs cats in their full glory right here. Hopefully we're going to be able to take down the the red boar right here. Man, you know what? If I actually did a little bit more research right here instead of just relying on memory right here, because I realized that Lord of the Abyss was the stage I want to do. I just didn't know that the red boar was actually also in the stage too, which is kind of unfortunate. But it's fine because we're actually should be getting close to actually ending this guy's life right here. Gonna probably send just let's just send a creep mellow cat right here. Don't know why I keep saying Morrow cat. I'm probably thinking of like something completely different, but that's not really what we're talking about right here. But there we go. The red boar has been taken care of, and we're just going to actually leave this going right here because, you know, hopefully if the enemy that I'm thinking of right here is going to annihilate all our dudes right here, then it should be good because there it is, the angelic boar right here. So this should be slightly more to our liking right here, what we're trying to go for. Gonna summon a bunch of supporting cats right here, and I'm hoping that if the Juliet cat is as good as she is, then hopefully we can actually get a freeze going right here so we can actually stop this Sleipnir from attacking our base right here. Though you can see that Sleipnir is kind of like getting, he's kind of trucking along through our defenses right here, but we're actually able to completely throw out the freeze right there, and we did bring along the Easter cat. If you're wondering, because it's going to be able to throw down the, I think it slows them down, yeah, so as long as it's able to slow the boar down, it's going to make it a little bit easier for our cats to actually do some damage right here. So we're able to actually stall the angelic boar right there for a little bit, so it was able to be like completely frozen and stuff, and you can see that's frozen once again. With all our freezing combos and stuff, it should theoretically make it a lot easier for us to sort of stall them as well. We're going to send out a couple of supporting units right here, just because I realize that there's a lot of these annoying units in the way right here. We're going to have 2 sniper cats now in the back right there, which is going to make things a little bit easier, but unfortunately, I also failed to realize that the stage has another Sleipnir, so even though we're pretty much able to deal with this boar relatively easily with the support of all the cats and stuff, we still can't really touch the Sleipnir at all, but as long as we can deal with the boar, then that's pretty much alright right here. But this is just to show you guys that, yes, the Juliet cat can be extremely useful when it comes to, like, you know, angelic boars, but not so much for Sleipnirs right here, as we already figured out last time right here. But it's kind of interesting here, because we're actually holding off pretty well, and because we have some sniper cats to support us, things might actually go a little bit better than they did before. So we're actually just gonna watch this just a little bit and see what happens right here. And look at that, we're actually able to completely wreck that angelic boar, obviously, but now the next challenge right here is just to get rid of the Sleipnir right here, though I think we're actually probably gonna defeat the Sleipnir right here just because we have the 2 sniper cats in the back right here that's able to continuously push away the Sleipnir back to its base right here. We're actually probably and most likely gonna push it back to the base, and then our cats are actually gonna be able to like just completely destroy the base because the Sleipnir's not gonna be able to advance any further right here. So I guess we could just keep this going, see what happens, and hopefully our team is actually going to defeat the Sleipnir right here and everything's going to go well. Wow, look at that, we're actually able to completely kill the Sleipnir too, so kind of seems that, you know, obviously if you have the right cats right here, I think the Juliet cat, actually, yeah, if I just go to that thought right there, the Juliet cat is really just there for the support, but you still need, like, a bunch of other cats to really do the damage, otherwise the Juliet cat's not going to be able to be too useful for you. So, final comments for the cat, do I think that it's useful? I think that the Juliet cat can be pretty useful, just as long as you have other supporting cats that can do more damage, like the Legs family right here, which can attack from a distance, because we've seen that the Juliet cat's going to have a lot of difficulty dealing with more ranged units like the Sleipnir Angel right there. So her freeze ability is not going to be able to be too useful for that scenario. But other than that, Angelic Boars and other close range angelic enemies, Juliet Cat can definitely stop them at their tracks if you have the freeze combo as well. It makes it super helpful. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much going to be it for this video. So if you guys enjoyed it, then hit that like button, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next Battle Cats Evolutions video in the future. If you guys have any more suggestions for cats that you would like me to try out for future videos, then just let me know in the comment section below, and I will try to get them out in future videos as soon as I can. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Woo!